Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? So if you want to watch the live stream that I've just made about this video, then go across to my Facebook page, Marianne Hanson Counselling Service. I know that sometimes people want to see the live stream. It can be sometimes a little bit different from the recorded video. So what I've been talking about is how to stop caring about what other people think. And I don't want to make this video about, just not caring at all about anyone's feelings, about being someone who just says, I don't care about this person, I don't care. It's not that. When I'm talking about it, I'm not talking about it from that perspective. I'm talking about not needing people to validate you, not caring so much that you lose out on life. So the first reason or thing to consider when it comes to this is that a lot of people that I work with, a lot of clients in my coaching business, in my counselling, are always thinking that everyone is thinking negative things about them. So that's whether they're sitting in a team meeting and they're thinking, if they speak up, that people are thinking that they're stupid for asking certain questions. If they're walking down the street, they're conscious of everyone's looking at them. Or if they're in a relationship, they're worried about not feeling good enough and all this sort of thing. And you have to think, sometimes I say to myself, or I'll say to people, when you're walking down the street or when you're doing certain things, are you focused on what the other person is doing? Are you looking at everyone, looking around thinking, oh, that person shouldn't be wearing that outfit, that person doesn't look really, really good, or that person shouldn't have said that in the meeting? If you're not thinking it, then maybe reframe things to say that maybe the other people are not thinking that about you either. The majority of people are just getting on with what they're doing. No one really cares. The only time people care about what another person is doing is if you encroach on their way of being. So, you've got all these human rights, which are about, right to privacy, right to be free from, harassment. If someone gets in your personal space, or if someone does something, trespasses in your house, if someone, tries to be violent with you, or if someone does something which discriminates against you, or those sorts of things, then you care, because it's about you then, and they're impacting on your way of being and your way of living. If it's just things like the majority of things that people think about that no one really cares about, you just have to reframe sometimes and sit back and think, why am I worried about what I'm wearing? Not everyone in the party is looking at me. Why am I worried about what I said in a meeting? Not everyone is thinking, oh, that question was a bit stupid that she asked. Why am I worried about my partner cheating when there's no evidence for it? So the stop caring bit doesn't mean you stop being a caring person. It doesn't mean you stop having thoughts and feelings. It means stop caring about things that probably don't matter, but also stop assuming. And there's going to be a video that I'm going to be doing talking about the 4 agreements. You can look at the book review that I did about that last year, which talks about these promises to yourself. And that's around not making assumptions as well. So the second thing to consider is, what value or purpose does it serve when you are worrying about what other people think? It robs you of living life. The amount of people that will say, oh, I'm not going to wear that because everyone's going to look at me. I'm not going to do my hair in this way because it's too much. I'm not going to date this person because my family, will have a problem with it. I'm not going to go to this place because there's no other minorities there, or it's not something that I feel comfortable doing. There's lots of people that are living based on what they think other people think, or even if people think that way, it doesn't matter. It's more about you then using that to stop you from being able to progress in life. The amount of people I've spoke to who don't send their CV because they say, I'm not going to get the job anyway. There's too much, I've had too many jobs on my CV, I've had too many gaps, I'm not going to be able to explain this. Or they go to the interview and then they say, I'm not going to get the job anyway. Or, you just have to say to yourself sometimes, what value or purpose is it serving in life when you are so worried about what other people think that it stops you from doing things? There is no value to it. There is no value to caring to the point where you're more concerned about what another person is doing, saying, thinking, feeling, than about your own thoughts and feelings. So what is it costing you is the next thing. If it's costing you the life that you could be living, then is it worth the price? And most people would say no. is it costing you missing out on opportunities? For many people it is, because they're so worried about what other people think that they're not doing things. They're not doing things with their life. They're not making decisions. They're not making certain choices. You know, even from, it starts at the basic stuff. If you can make choices where you don't have to ask another person, you know, I don't think ever in my whole life, I don't think, I know for a fact, I've never put on an outfit and said to someone, what do you think of my outfit? Because do you know what? If you're asking someone to rate you or to make a decision for you, you better be prepared for the answer. So you might have spent ages getting ready, doing your hair, doing your makeup, putting your clothes on. You could turn to someone and they could say, no, that makeup doesn't look right, your hair doesn't look right, your outfit doesn't look right. Then are you going to change because of what they've said? And for many people, they'll then walk around and they'll be feeling uncomfortable, not because of what they're wearing or what they look like, but because someone else has told them that that doesn't look good on them. Because before they asked, they were feeling fine. So you have to think, you know, give yourself permission. That's the next thing, not to care. And I don't mean like not to care, just get up and just be like, right, I'm going to be a really horrible person. I'm going to like treat people badly. I'm going to be unkind. Not that sort of thing. You know, when people say, I just don't care. I don't care about anyone. It's not that type of thing. Give yourself permission not to care so much about what other people think when it's not as important about as much as what you think. What you think is more important than anyone else. And that, I mean, might sound to some people, well, I do care about what my parents think. I do care about what my family friends think. I do care about what my partner thinks. It's not saying you shouldn't care. But sometimes you can say, do you know what, I respect what you're saying, or I respect your opinion, but this is what I think, this is what I feel, this is what I care about, so I'm going to make my decision. The more you do it, the easier it becomes as well. You have to practice making decisions based on your own decision-making skills without asking anyone else, so you don't need validation. So the next one is the time and energy it wastes. It takes so much time and energy to just be constantly thinking about what other people think. You know, it just zaps the energy out of you, and you turn around one day and you just think, what was the point of that? All these choices that I didn't make, you can't go back and make them now, it's too late. So just think about that. And the final one is, where's the evidence that people are thinking in a negative way? So if you're someone that's constantly has overthinking, negative thoughts, you're constantly thinking, this person must be thinking this thing about me, this person must be thinking that about me. You've got a choice to make. You can either go up to every single person in the world and ask them, oh, you know, when I looked over at you, was you thinking this? Or do you know, when I said that in the meeting, did you think this? Or do you know, when I was at the interview with you and you looked down at my shoes, were you thinking this about me? You can ask, which is just ridiculous. You're not going to be able to do that. Or you can decide that you're never going to know what everyone is thinking. And we wouldn't want to, you know, that program, the film, what was it called? With Mel Gibson and, oh God, Holly Hunter or someone. Was it called What Women Want or What Women Think? And he could hear every conversation that all the women were saying, and he just thought that's what he thought he wanted. But when he realised it was too much, because no one really wants to know what everyone is thinking. You know, we don't need to know. And that's information which we don't need. So you don't need to make assumptions and assume that people are thinking the worst. It doesn't matter if people are thinking the best or the worst. It's their thoughts. But you don't need to make assumptions, and you don't need to care to the point where you're missing out on life. You're missing out on doing things because you're worried about what other people are thinking. If there's no evidence, then just treat it as being, I don't know either way. Maybe that person is looking at me because I'm wearing shorts in the middle of summer and, you know, I've got my boot. I was going to say booty then. I watch too many American things. I've got my bum out. Or maybe that person is thinking, she's always dominating in the meeting because she's talking the most. Who cares? Do you know what I mean? They either can say it or they can think it, but it doesn't matter. I've been in many situations where I've been the one talking the most in a meeting, or I've been the one, if we're doing group work, I've put all the suggestions forward. Or when I was on my training course at university, if no one else says something, sometimes I'll speak out. I'm quite opinionated. I've never once thought, well, maybe the class is going to think this, or maybe because it's my experience and they've got a choice as well. They can talk as much as I'm talking. So the bottom line is, when you stop caring what people think, and I'm talking about like to the degree of it impacting on you and your choices, it just frees you up to just be yourself and to do what you want to do. You know, because it's your life at the end of the day. You don't want to just live it in a way that is where you have to get validation from other people, where you're just so anxious and worried and nervous about other people. And I know it's not as easy as that. I'm not going to say making a video about it means that people are going to wake up and all of a sudden that's going to disappear. It takes practice, but hopefully some of the things I've mentioned will be useful. And if they are, feel free to comment, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Share this video with others if you think they'll find it useful. You can watch the live stream, which was on my Facebook page, Marianne Hanson Counselling Service. And thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.